what have you heard about the situation in Afghanistan, about what happened last night? What have you heard about that?
Of course, I'm well aware what's happening because our team is on the ground delivering the much needed aid that's needed for the people and the communities. Unfortunately, a very extreme earthquake hit three provinces of the country: Paktika, Khost, and even Ningarhar. But Paktia and Ningarhar not that much affected, but the most effect and destruction took place in Paktika and some of the districts and some of the villages. Some of the villages are completely destroyed. 90% of villages are gone. And I'm sure you have heard of in the news, there are over 1,000 people have died so far. And the number will increase because I just talked to our team on the ground. They said there's still a lot of dead bodies below the ground and they need to find it. And many families, they haven't located their own family members, and there are over 2,000 people injured and their situation is not good. So we are expecting, unfortunately, for the death toll to grow or to be even bigger than 1,500 people.
So this region had also been still recovering from some pretty significant fighting, I think, before the Taliban took over the country, and still trying to recover from that. Can you give us a sense of just how significant how much more complicated life is going to be for these people with this earthquake now? Because I think there was a drought going on or something of that nature. Just give us a sense of where things are now.
So the background of the situation is, number one, these houses are built by muds. No infrastructure was there, and it was raining for a number of days. So when it was raining for a number of days, the muddy houses became extremely soft, and the earthquake hit, and it was all to the ground. And unfortunately, there are no hospitals around them. And for you to get to only the Paktika province, you have to drive for at least 3 to 4 hours. No road infrastructure or medical center or whatsoever. And of course, the people were already fragile. The community was extremely vulnerable concerning the decades of war. And then natural disaster hit them like this. It will be really, really difficult for them to recover back.
So the telecommunication systems and communicating, I understand that too is problematic. On a good day, that's problematic, but I imagine it's worse now, correct?
Yeah, of course. Telecommunication network system, road systems, even the muddy road that some of the car could get there, even those cars can't get there. And some of the help, I think they did receive medical attention from Kabul using helicopters. And of course, how many helicopters can you use for that, the nature of this kind of magnitude? And people are still actually there, and no houses, no shelter, no food, no water. To be honest, I heard terrible stories of families.
It's my understanding as well, having been a reporter who's covered the war in Afghanistan for years, that there are terror groups that are operating still there inside the country. I'm wondering if you think that these organizations are operating there, if that will complicate any kind of rescue and assistance efforts you might get from the West, who might be concerned about these groups.
As far as I know, as a local person who have lived all my life in Afghanistan, I do not know a single terror organization right now working or being active in the field. But what I do know is that the Western countries had a 20 years of time to rebuild at least a road to that particular village, or hospital for them, or school for them. None of them have did it. And if there was a single road or single hospital, that would be very useful in particular situation right now. But I'm not aware of single terror organization being active right now, because we are on the ground. We are delivering the help. We are saving lives. And I've not encountered a single of them. And I request every organization from the Western countries to come and help the people. Forget about the political scenario people might put forward, but the local community need your help, and you should be there for them as a human being.
Okay, so what can we, these human beings, do to help your organization help these people?
I would say that help the people, not particularly my organization, because the importance are to the beneficiaries are more important. So, of course, if you are a charity, humanitarian organization, come by yourself and help. And any assistance you need, we can provide you those assistance. If you're an individual person, you can donate to one of the organizations. Red Cross is working there. Red Cross was there today. We are on the ground. There are many other organizations, American organizations working in the field actually right now, helping in saving lives.
Okay, I have asked you a few questions that I know to ask, but what are some of the other things that I haven't asked you about that you think are important that we need to know about this situation right now?
Yeah, I would say that we are focusing on saving lives right now. Yes, that's important. But what will follow post? I mean, this trauma with people. Can we rebuild their houses? Can we build them a water well? Can we build them a hospital? So, and can we take care of the issue? Maybe we can have a system within the country which can detect earthquake before it happens. I mean, and we can basically do something about it. If those areas can be tackled, that would be really great.
So, you yourself, your organization, how big are you, and how many people are with your organization, and what exactly do you endeavor to do on a daily basis during your
Yes,
work
so
in there?
I would say that we are one of the biggest local charity organization on the ground. We do have representative and employees all over the country, and we work in different fronts. The UN has many clusters, and we are active in a number of them, right from child protection, food security, wash projects, education, and also emergency response.
Can you give me a sense of how many people are in your organization, though?
We have a paid employee in the country, 30, and then we have volunteers, and then we have representative all over the country. In every province, we have representative people there. In fact, in some of the districts, we have representative. So there are hundreds of people engaged with the organization actively. And we have beneficiaries, of course, those will be in numbers in millions.
Okay. And one last thing I'd like to ask you. What is it that you're doing at this very moment, at this time, your team on the ground there? I know that the weather is bad right now, and
Yeah, it's raining. Yeah.
what are you doing right now to address this as quickly as possible?
So we have a 6 stages plan. Number one, to provide them warm meals and water, so immediately they can have something to eat. And then we want to give them food packs for their families. And then we will be providing them with hygiene materials, milk, baby milk formulas, hygienes for women. And then we will be planning even to rebuild some of the houses, because the houses are extremely cheap. With $2,000, you can build the entire house. We will be also building them water wells and community centers, so they can once again connect, probably setting some source of income for the families with our budget that we have. But of course, our budget is limited, and we would love for people to come forward and help them in a different ways that they think is important.
Well, sir, I thank you so much for taking time to do this. I know everybody's pulling at you and everybody wants to talk to you today, but I plan to stay in touch with you over time to watch you work and to see what we can do to help your work, because what you're doing is very important. And thank you for taking moments to talk with us today.
Thank you for taking your time as well. For awareness is very important.